the hospital and having some frank conversations about what can be done with like training or doubling up or any idea that might work, I think is infinitely more productive than us trying to legislate something that we're not even catching people for in the first place.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
can
think it
talk
should
to
be
our command and see if
should be available for people to
they're
buy.
taking steps. Because
Let's
I
be-
mean, honestly, at this point, I mean, with as often as it's happening, they should just be instructed not even to leave their ambulances if they don't see anybody needing help right away. I'm just gonna keep it real.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't want to hold up too much on this one, but if that's the consensus, that's
But
totally
if
fine.
it continues to be a problem, then we can always just readdress it.
Okay, understood.
So 0 people have been caught doing this.
Correct.
Ego Act requires 3 for what, a hut, right?
Yeah, they're both, so it's
It's
3 and 5. They both
5.
will be.
Is it 3 within 30 then?
It's
Yeah.
within
Because
30, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Are you signed in as a cop, Nakota?
Yeah, I am.
Can you tell me how many people were arrested in the last 8 hours? I mean, arrested too, no traffic citations.
You know, I told that Archie guy like a month ago to stop calling it the council, the Civilian
The
Oversight
cock?
Council.
Yes.
So did
But
I. So did I.
he
Same.
loves calling it cock, and because he's a juvenile. And he just refuses, and people are getting it confused. I'm like, it's too confusing, please.
I told him straight up, I was like, there's no way it's getting renamed. Like
Yeah.
when it was like, oh my god, during that first week when he would not shut the fuck up about it.
He is very committed to running for it.
You know who he told
was that
me
the
what
guy
Lord of the Rings
yesterday?
character was? He told me he was Gollum, so I feel like he is not a trustworthy person.
It
Who
looks like
chooses
8
Gollum?
max.
Like,
8?
Sorry.
you can't resist the ring
Nice.
of power?
On an hour?
You want to rename it already? No, listen, it just
Okay.
We hear music. It's
So
quiet.
revisit, I guess. / hope the Ego Act kicks in.
Like I
never
said,
evacs gonna do shit.
I'll talk to command and see if they're doing anything, and then if this continues, then you know I can always reach out to y'all and say that you know we've got to do something.
Oh, that works.
Okay. Next. Malton, you have anything to present?
I'll be honest. I don't have anything specific, but I will throw it out here for consideration. Murphy Braun sent me basically an additive thing from last week's legislation. He was pitching a charge about like possession of classified information. I think it's interesting.
I was bringing that up to you. You stole my thunder.
Okay, well, he sent it to a lot of people. Okay,
he emailed it. He sent it to a lot of people.
Okay, all right.
I mean, if we want to discuss it, we
Did
fine.
he send it to you?
I don't think
He
it's
sent
shit.
it to
Yeah.
3 people. Yeah. I'm on the fence about it. I don't know if that's ever going to come. I don't even know how you would enforce that other than it falling into your fucking lap. Same thing with the EMS thing we just talked about. It's another charge in the penal code. So I'm welcome to hear opinions on it, but I'm real on the fence about possession of classified information or whatever it ends up being called.
I mean, I'll just say this right now. So when Jesse Adler kidnapped us, Max and myself, one of the things that they did was steal our phones. She definitely looked through my texts, which probably included privileged information, which, you know, really stresses me out personally. And I'm a little bit biased because I have a personal experience with this where, like, I kind of wish there had been a harsher punishment for doing that. But it is like you said,
Wow.
Lance. It's like unless you fall into it, right? Like how are you gonna?
I mean, the other
It's
thing as
5K
far as
on
like harsher
Twitter.
punishment, I guess this is this was a general issue that came up with. Obviously, Siobhan, I'm not specifically targeting you with this, but
Right.
it couldn't a harsher punishment be a civil court for for punitive damages to punish them monetarily at least, as opposed to criminal charge or
The
extra
damage is
time?
already done with privileged information at that point, and I feel like deterrence is better as a more helpful factor.
True, big true.
Like
Yeah,
if we're
I
going to
agree with that.
right, if we're going to civil, it's already the
You can't
damage to the
unsee
privilege.
it.
You can't unsee the privilege information. Damage is already done. I think deterrence is more beneficial so that people know that their privileged information is kept safe
I think
Yeah.
and
the old,
confidential.
I think I could agree with that, but then this charge would have to be a felony because people aren't going to give a fuck about a misdemeanor.
I agree.
True.
I mean, if we're going with the deterrence argument, I could see the logic in that, but yeah, my only thing, it'd have to be a felony to disqualify people from the privileges that
True.
comes with.
I'm
The
sorting the fuck out
next
with this.
thing, this law seems potentially very, or this charge seems potentially very difficult to write. So I would like to defer to the resident expert, Chief Justice Alan Crane, for his thoughts on this matter.
Sorry, I was combating ignorance on Twitter.
Oh,
I'm gonna need a refresh real quick.
Possession of classified information. How would you
Oh, the
even
Murphy
word
thing.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my issue with it when I considered it at first, because I was trying to hypothesize, like, if I was a cop, what would classify, and how would I articulate it to a judge and say this is government information? And is it a per se charge where the person doesn't need to know it's government information, or do they need to know, right? Because what happens if you just like pocket wipe a lawyer and you take their client notes? Does that mean that you're guilty of the charge, or do you have to like, attack a cop and steal their investigation report book? So I'm not really sure.
well, I'll say the example I gave was like when Jesse Adler kidnapped me and went through my phone and definitely looked at privileged information. Kind of fucked up, and the damage is already done once the privileged information has been seen. You know what I mean? Like, civil court isn't a good redress.
Let me see if he provided a definition here. It is unlawful to possess information protected under legal or medical privilege and confidentiality, which includes mobile phones, SIM cards, notebooks, etc. Does not include proprietary business information. So basically, the way Braun pitched it, in the email to me at least, is it's like any other possession charge. You're possessing something with the information in it. Doesn't matter if you actually read it or not. Doesn't matter if you knew it was or not. That it'd be privileged. The other issue I have with the charge, just in terms of defining it, is then cops would have to look at the privileged information to know that it's privileged. And that's the other thing. That's why I said, like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with the charge in like a vacuum, especially if it's a felony. I just have no fucking idea how it's going to be worded or enforced. I mean, this
Seems
goes back
like it
to
might be a little tricky.
this goes back to you, Siobhan, because are you okay with cops investigating the privileged information to determine if it's privileged, to push that charge?
Right. Fuck. That's kind of the catch-22, isn't it?
Damn, that's the Achilles heel, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Is unless you do make it per se and say anything, if you have something belonging to a government employee, congratulations, you're guilty. But I don't think that's a good route to go with this law.
Yeah, fuck. That is such a catch-22 because I wouldn't want them to. I would want a judge, right? To probably, oh fuck. I'll have to think on that one more. I have to think on that.
I guess in that sense, are we okay then with tabling this so everyone could chew on it? Bring it up. Bring it up next week under with because Cantor may have some input here since it deals with medical
I
stuff
think that
also.
would also be relevant.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Let's table it a week.
Can I ask one question?
What,
that I get clarity from other people at least on
Yeah,
it.
go ahead.
Is
Please.
so if someone was going to be charged with it, Siobhan, would they? Is there no onus to prove that they knew the information was privileged, or is it just it was, therefore it is?
Under Murphy's. Sorry, go ahead. I don't want to speak. For you.
I'm just gonna give my example.
Yeah.
Jesse Adler was literally texting me screenshots of going through my texts.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I had
Mm.
proof in the pudding of her going through my shit.
I
So
think I do understand, but my question is more like, did she know what she was looking at was privileged information?
I
Or
actually
was she
say it in
just
text.
airing
I actually
everything
say
out?
in no, she had to know because I actually say in my texts just for like to make it easier if anything was ever subpoenaed so the judges could look through it easier. I always
Okay.
say before privileged information, the following text is protected by attorney-client privilege. So
Does
there's-
everyone
there's-
do that though? Because I know
I
not
don't know. I think that
everyone's
should be a
you.
best practice. That's probably a best practice that DOJ
Okay.
should. Yeah.
All right. I'm not.
Lance,
yeah.
can
I'm
you put
not
that in
trying
the
to nitpick,
DOJ
I'm just
document somewhere?
curious, honestly.
Put what in there? Sorry.
Something about best practices of like if you're gonna text privilege information, like put a precursor that it's the following texts are protected by attorney-client privilege sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm sure I could.
I think
throw
that's
that
just
in
a good best
somewhere.
practice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
In the meantime, I threw up a city council document. I cannot add a tag. If Crane or Dakota can do that, it's just called criminal. Oh, sorry, wait, it's a DOJ doc. Now it's a city council doc. Criminal possession of privileged information. If people want to spitball on there throughout the week, fair enough.
Ooh.
Wait, what are we looking at? So... Wait, what am I looking at?
So in the 3476, this is how this conversation started. Is Braun essentially sent a request to, I believe it was myself, Crane, and Siobhan.
Mm.
And this is just verbatim what he said. So this is Braun's proposal basically. And if people want to like throw comments on there throughout the week after thinking about it, talking with others, et cetera, et cetera.
What is this fucking... They're all on the phones. What the fuck is that?
That's all for me this week.
Cantor, Philippa. Oh wait, she's not here. Alan Crane, Chief Justice, the Venerable One.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you wish to present?
Let's see.
What if I feel like...
Oh yeah, I got some.
What if like everyone has
This
been
was
like
kinda
more
interesting.
calm? Edda seems way more...
What do y'all think about
chill.
loans?
Boo. Private loans, okay.
But here's the thing. Let's say Max, you get a private loan from Michael, for 100 grand, and then you go out and use that money, like get a car, and you're like, I'm gonna use this car to rob every bank in the city. I'm gonna pay back my loan, and then you get caught robbing every bank in the city because you're a shit driver. Again, hypothetical, and you can't pay back Michael, and you're broke because you eaten all those PD fines. If Michael then comes to me on Crane, says, here's my contract, it's approved, it's signed by a lawyer and all this, I want my money, how do I get Michael his money?
I threw my spitball up, or I bumped it up to a city council doc just so everyone could see 3470.
Okay.
Wait.
Hello, approval helpline.
Bump.
Oh my god.
What did you bump it up from?
It was a DOJ doc, because Crane has said this discussion has come up in the DOJ before, so I had a DOJ doc going with just spitballing ideas to start to work all this bullshit out.
Oh God, my PTSD.
Dude, the arrogance with which former loan bosses spoke to me when I was running for mayor, and they were telling me about their their past visit. Yeah, man, I had 10 supercars and 7 houses, and I had $10 billion in the bank.
Oh my God.
Hey, because
You-
this
Max,
Was
did
that
I ever tell you-
Marlo?
Hold on,
Yeah,
Must have been Marlo.
it was.
Max. Did I ever tell you
bailed
about my
out bad
warehouse?
loans.
No,
Oh God.
Boy.
All right, so before the financial collapse, when money was like, just fucking everywhere, I was watching some Glenn Beck, learning the good ways.
Oh my
and
God.
and he was talking. He makes some damn sense. He was talking about how you can't trust the government, which I agree with.
Government.
And he said you can't trust government because the goddamn monetary standard is bullshit. It's all made up and it's not real. And the only thing you can trust is gold, right? I was like, that makes
True.
fucking sense, right? Gold standard.
true.
So
Mhm.
I fucking took all my millions of dollars. I had like $3.5 million, and I bought a warehouse for $1 million, and then I converted the rest of my money into gold,
I remember that.
and all the gold that I ever seized from people's houses when we foreclosed on them. I just threw it in a warehouse. I had like a mountain of gold. It was like $2 million worth of gold.
How would you get gold?
Scrooge McDuck status.
So
Gold
believe it
panning.
or not, 5 years ago we actually had a gold rush. It was like fucking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was
That
like
was
forever ago,
crazy.
like
Oh, yeah.
centuries ago. It was fucking like people were making thousands and thousands of dollars gold panning.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Scarlet Winters to the gold pan. As a
What?
judge.
We lost a lot of people.
lost a lot of people
Max,
to the
there
gold
was so
pan.
much, Max,
Yes.
there was so much gold in this city's water that people were gold
Oh, the
panning
poo
in the
water.
reclaimed water used city fountains out front of City Hall.
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
Scarlet was
There were
so
people panning
bad.
for gold in the south side sewers, Max.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
Yeah, the
everywhere.
runoff.
It was
Everywhere.
gold
Yeah.
panning parties up in the rivers and the mountains. It was
Oh
great.
my god, we had a court case gold panning in like the little lake by Mount Gordo once. Because
Oh, yeah,
nobody could
Serge
stop
told me
gold.
about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, nobody could stop gold panning.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember people started making so much money though that some people actually stopped robbing banks and just started robbing gold panners. It was wild.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was a thing.
McGregor did that often. He
He literally told us in the cells once. I said, "Why are you robbing like 15 gold panners every day?" And he's like, "I make almost 200K when I rob a gold panner if I get them at the right time."
Yep.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
It was
anyway,
wild.
point being,
You're
well,
dragon from Dungeons and Dragons. That's the point, right?
yeah, it was, and I had some crazy shit in there. I had a statue that was like an onyx panther that I found in someone's warehouse next to an RPG that was like magma hot.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
I had like a mask from some kind of Eyes Wide Shut like secret island party.
What the
I had some
fuck?
crazy
Oh
shit
my
in that
God.
warehouse. Anyway,
Huh.
what the fuck were we talking about?
Loans.
Well, I'm
Loans,
just imagining you a
that's
smell.
right, loan. Sorry, I'm,
Four
you know, it's
seven
that-
zero.
I'm what's that called? Afternooning.
Sundowning, Crane.
Sundowning.
Sundowning.
That's right. Yeah, that's the one.
I've been telling you to take
I
your
know
meds,
I'd get there
Crane.
eventually.
Yeah.
That's why I got you
Dementia.
smart folks to prompt me. City 8.
Yeah.
So loans, I don't know. My conclusion from the judges is there probably should be collateral, and we should not honor loans without collateral, because
Yeah.
we could like take everyone's dollars from their bank account. We could seize their vehicles and shit. But if they don't have any assets, what am I supposed to do? Just print money? I ain't fucking.
I don't think you need a collateral. I think that's on the loan provider for writing a bad loan at that point. I think.
So
Well,
think
okay,
it's
so but what we
Mhm.
need to make guidance that, because right now, and I've been very clear in the past that the right to contract between two parties is
So
like
far,
a
there's
uniquely American ideal
3.
mhm.
that should exist in eternity, right? So I'm not a big fan of telling people that, and then also telling them, oh, you should have known I wouldn't enforce your contract. I think we should give them a heads up and say, here's the parameters of
Yeah, I
when
think
we
that
will
that's
enforce
fair.
it or not.
I think if you want to keep the spirit of making whatever contract you want, send them to zero, right? But the state isn't going to cover your bad loan. The state's not going to bail you out like it did in the past.
Wait, Minecraft has
So as far as the collateral and whatnot,
300 plus
I know
tracks?
one of the big issues that we used to run into was that people would take out the loans to buy cars, which would be the collateral.
the fuck?
However, then they would sell the car before the loan was paid off and use that money to buy a different car.
Yeah, but we can go after them and trace that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, because yeah, that's the thing is that like when I would,
I'll tell you what, that case never came in front of me, because if it did, we would have gone down the chain and found where the money went.
Okay. Yeah, because yeah, I literally had a knife held to my throat because I defaulted a loan because they sold their car.
Oh my god.
And I was like, all right, well, I'm defaulting your loan. So then they came to where I worked and said,
Why didn't
about
you let me
that.
get away with it?
Yeah.
I like to think these guidelines are a pretty fair starting point.
as
Oh,
long as
you drafted something already?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I'll take a look at that.
3470 Crane report in the city council doc.
as long as the people
Alright.
distributing them don't give themselves loans, because that was a problem.
What do you mean?
You were
Uh,
a
Well,
lawyer,
it's
legal
not state
process.
money. This is all
Yeah.
P2P,
Yeah,
like
it's-
private to private.
Okay.
or-
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
checking. Just checking.
Trust me, if there's anybody that's been submitting a business proposal, I had with somebody who wanted a business proposal for a loan company, and they just wanted, a $10 million state grant, a small loan of $10 million.
$10 million. You guys would not
Jesus
believe the
Christ.
dumb pricks that have come to us expecting
10
like
million?
Oh,
buildings.
trust me,
Millionaire.
I am very well aware.
Oh my
of what
god,
you
man!
were
It's
dealing
unreal.
with.
The fucked up part is like, maybe it could have happened in the past. If their idea was truly
Mhm.
good. We don't have the ability to do half of what was possible before the collapse.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucked.
That's
These-
why I
It's,
keep telling
A
people.
lot of that is coming soon, by the way.
Cool.
I
Today
think I
after
shot you
the...
an email about that.
Wait, did you? When?
Ooh.
Yeah, like earlier, before you woke up.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Where's my
yeah,
email?
that is tight. Will I be able to see that?
I'm gonna talk to them about that.
Sick. Okay. After this council meeting, we're gonna do a town hall if anyone wants to stick
Cool.
around.
Yeah.
And
We should do it in the large courtroom so I can't get shot.
good,
that's a good
good
point.
idea.
That's a
Yeah,
good
great
idea.
point.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, sick. People can ask us questions and people can submit business proposals to us. It'll be sick.
Okay.
So what's the final verdict on the loan guy? I mean, look, I'm gonna be the first guy to admit it. I'm not educated enough to make like a good decision on this. I will say I like Crane's idea of there needing to be collateral. And
100%.
of course the understanding that the state will never bail these motherfuckers out. Like,
Well, that's why I don't think there needs to be class. I think we should encourage, people to be idiots with loaning out their money too, for lack of a better word. If you want to loan out all your money without collateral or without guarantee, that's also your right as a citizen of this state.
But when you take a loan, right? I'll say this as a lender, when you lend out funds, right? It's not guaranteed money back. You are also taking a risk that they don't pay it back. That's the risk you took on. That's lending risk.
Yeah, I think if you want to be omega risky and not have collateral and as part of your terms, hey, that's your choice as a citizen making this contract.
Why do I feel like doctors in EMS are about to get a lot more busy?
I mean, maybe.
Job security is always good.
True. Very true.
I mean,
Yeah.
I completely agree with what's said here. I think the one guiding principle is the state is not bailing anyone out. The state may facilitate things or work with, or the DOJ may work with people in terms of collections. But if someone has to go bankrupt, hey, you get more than that.
Yeah. I mean, There's
Drunk
plenty of people
driving.
out there that want to do this. I've seen people, and people have come to
Oh,
me about this as well, asking for my advice. And I mean, again, I mean, if they understand that it is a risk that they are taking and that they will get no federal backing, then
I think anyone who gives out a loan without collateral is insane.
true.
But on that note, I don't think that should be a legal requirement. We shouldn't be hand holding people who want to start up loan ventures.
I will say, I think if there's any breach of contract, like civil cases or whatever, those should just be handled by the judiciary on a case by case basis.
Absolutely.
Okay, so they would go to
Oh, it is one.
a civil trial if someone is not getting paid back what they were.
That's what I put in my spitball.
Yeah, that's
is,
what I
mean,
thought. Okay,
Yeah, collections would just go to the DOJ, and a judge would set terms, if any, be it lump sum payment plans, seizure of assets, etc.
Yeah,
So, question. I don't think I've heard the L word spoken by a single person unless prompted. Like, who's been coming to you about defining this? And
This has been. I've been talking to one person in particular, Bjorn. He
Okay.
he has been interested in starting a loan company for a while because he's observed that it's been happening kind of under the radar, just like on the streets, like people just like signing a contract with
Mhm.
each other, sometimes not even with a lawyer, and kind of just enforcing
I've seen
it,
people advertising the yellow
you know,
pages too.
enforcing
Same.
how you would,
Yeah.
right? Like on the street, just assuming that your rep is going to protect you or whatever. But he is now concerned coming to me over the last several weeks. We've been having conversations. I promised him I'll bring it to the judges. I did. And now I'm bringing it to y'all because I do think it's only fair to people to clarify this because it's been such a contentious issue in the past.
Beeping.
Yeah, I just think if people are giving out loans, they need to be more understanding of lending risk, and if they're not aware of it, then they weren't affluent enough of an investor to actually take on that risk.
I also think that's
Yeah.
what
That's their own
attorneys.
fault.
That's what attorneys are for.
Yeah, that is
if,
what attorneys are for.
You know, if they're going through the right processes, you know, if the DOJ puts out these guidelines, the attorneys will see them, and that's part of their due diligence with their clients.
Wait, what's the
Totally.
alternative?
Well, if they're doing like under the table shit, you know.
No, I mean like, what are we debating back and forth? It sounded like you guys were saying like a but. What was the but?
I'm still going back to my whole like collateral not being required. Yes.
Yeah, 1,000%. I don't think we need to require it. I'm saying the only way the DOJ will honor the full value of the loan is if there is collateral. So you can take a risk and you can loan something, but you just need to know that if the person ends up broke, that the government's not going to bail you out, which is what Siobhan's point is about being a savvy, lender.
I put this kind of at the bottom towards the general spitball crane because I'm not sure how the DOJ or this council would feel about it, but what about seizure of assets that aren't listed as collateral? Like, I write a loan for 10K, right? The person defaults on it. They don't have enough liquid assets, but they own a Panto. You know, do you think it's within
No, it was basically
the
just
state's
spawning
rights
money.
to seize
It
that
didn't even
Panto,
come from the
auction it
state.
off similar to the VAF system, and use that to pay back the person?
My argument would be that if we put in these basic guidelines, and if your hypotheticals start happening, then we close that loophole by allowing the seizure. But we wouldn't need to do that affirmatively with legislation. It would just be the first time that case ever came up where someone sued and said, I want to take this guy's house even though it wasn't put up for collateral originally. Then a judge would rule on it. And I'll tell you what, if there was a pandemic of people avoiding loan repercussions by just not having any liquid assets, then I assure you the DOJ would make that adjustment.
Yeah, that's and you said that you want to avoid finding people into the negative, right?
Correct. So that is not something we're going to lean towards ever.
Because that's something that also needs to be stressed to them, is that, then that's the risk part that Siobhan was talking about, is that if somebody takes out a loan, and then is never seen or heard from again, then that's just money that's gone.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other issue. And don't worry,
Yeah.
I explained that to people, I would say, roughly 3 times a week 5 years ago, so I'm sure I'll be there soon.
Oh God.
That was,
Don't worry
yeah.
about it. That's a whole other topic. All right, so would anyone have any objections to the edits Molten made?
I mean, are we voting this into legislation, or are we just kicking it to DOJ for policy discussion? I guess that's my
What do
first
you guys
question.
think? I could publish this as a state announcement, as a DOJ advisory that's in the public MDT, and then I could refer Bjorn to it and other lenders. Or, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I like what you said. I actually like the idea
Hello?
of an advisory for people so that they're aware of like their own inherent risks that they're taking on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, anyone not like the advisory idea?
No, I'm down. It seems all right to me.
Cool. Okay, I'll go ahead and make it an advisory right now.
Yeah, and these guidelines are really good, Lance.
Let them alone.
I'll
Do you have any-
finish your edits that you're making?
Do you have anything else
I'll
to
do a
present?
quick proofread before I do it.
I do a quick proofread. I cross out the thing that the future proofing you said that the courts could handle. If you want to make any other changes,
Yeah.
fine. But then otherwise, you're just good to probably bump this to a back to a DOJ doc, and then I could add it to the DOJ master list.
Were we on Crane presentations or Molten presentations?
Crane.
Oh, wait, we were on Crane. Do you have anything else you want to present, Alan?
I am just advising again that the penal code will be always a moving goalpost, and the judges and I are gonna probably start having some conversations. We've already had one about a week ago
dispensaries. Yeah.
about an overhaul and rebalance of fines and times across the board, because some of the things we've been doing as the council are disparate in approach and nature to what already existed. And so the DOJ may embark on kind of a like a merging of the two points of view to create a more understandable penal code. So just advising that is something we're going to look at in the coming weeks.
That's fine.
But in terms of actual legislation, no, the only thing I had was the loan stuff.
Edo, you got anything you want to propose?
We talked about that
No,
earlier.
not right now. Thank you.
Okay, Mike.
Yes.
My man.
I got
Big M.
I got a few things. So first of all,
You and your
my
acronyms.
fucking MDT. Do we care about the fucking charge for using your like failure to signal? I know it's a stacking charge, but do anyone ever signal?
I do.
It's
You
always
do?
going to stand only because it is the ultimate deterrent to people being complete shitheads. I don't know how familiar you are, but there's a cop named Matt Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
I've had several of his bench trials. In fact, I saw one just the other day in the MDT that was a doozy. Matt Rhodes ticketed the same guy 3 times in a row, 10 minutes apart each time.
Right.
For speeding, and then a lesser speeding charge, and then eventually unauthorized parking. Because the guy finally got so mad he got out of his car and walked away and parked it, but parked it illegally. And one of my favorite Matt Rhodes bits is where he gets somebody, he pulls them over, and then they get really like sassy with him and call him a shithead, dumb cop, and all this shit.
Right.
So then when he tells them they're free to go when his lights are off, he waits, and then they don't signal when merging back onto the road, so he pulls them over immediately and gives them failure to signal. And if we got rid of that charge, I wouldn't get to enjoy those bench trials, which I'm sorry, Michael, but that's almost as good as cigarettes.
That's fine. If we want to keep it there for road specifically, I'm fine. I just wanted to double check.
He is the only person I've ever seen give that charge.
Yeah, that's
Same.
why I was kind of asking, because I feel like even cops are not signaling, so But if we want to keep it for road specifically,
and nobody gets charged except for people who are just being complete shitheads. So
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, that's fine. I'll remove it. It was just to bring it up. And
no,
talk about
I
it.
agree with you. No one uses it. No one gets charged for it, but I just like it in there just to enable that.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing was, you know how we give 20% off for G6 employees?
Yeah.
Do we want to do that?
Oh,
for
did we agree to do that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh,
Did we not?
For police department?
No,
We
no.
did not. Okay, we did not publish that we were giving 20% off. What we agreed on was that we were going to just evaluate people as they came in. And if somebody comes in a G6 uniform, professional, very respectful,
Mhm.
I instructed the clerks and the judges, just give them 20% off. Don't say anything about it. Just do it.
Okay.
Because they don't,
Yeah.
it's more so it's incentivized just to be a good, respectful person, not capitalize on a discount.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
got you.
come in demanding shit. Yeah.
I was
And
gonna.
so I'm the same for PD. If PD comes respectfully and all that, and they're participating and
Yeah, I was
speaking
gonna
well of the
suggest
clerks,
that.
then I'm down for that. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just.
Anybody
That
not
was.
okay with the discount for PD?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're not okay, Mix?
No, I'm okay with it. I said,
Oh,
yeah.
you are okay. Okay, I got you. I said anybody not okay, and you said yeah, and I was like,
Oh,
Oh, I missed that part.
All right.
Yeah,
He asked a question in the negative, so it made it weird to answer.
Yeah,
It's,
my bad.
don't worry about it.
My
It's
fault.
fine. It's
so
cool.
Thank you,
another
Beb.
another thing, I don't know if this goes specifically to you, Nakota, but apparently it seems like PD is very clumsy in terms of cleaning up after people getting a license. And just cleaning up in general. I know Lovesick has been asked to get removed from PD, and he's still hired at PD.
You want me to
Wait.
fire him right now?
What's he getting fired for?
No, he left. Yeah, he
quit.
Yes.
Quit.
Why?
Yeah, it was an incident.
I can fire him right now. You want me to fire him?
I believe he quit already, so he shouldn't really be
Yeah,
there.
if he's not in, if
He
he's still in
shouldn't have
there,
to,
you can
yeah.
remove him if you can, Chief Justice. Otherwise, I have to wait for someone who has access to the MDT on that level to start removing people.
Yeah, his shit's gone. I'm doing it right now.
Right, there you go.
Cool.
But that seems to be a general concern is that I'm assuming, Crane, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you get hired at PD, you also do get a weapons license by default?
The
Yes.
weapons license you get by default for PD. We've clarified with this PD. It's in their announcements and
Yep.
is their official policy. That
Mhm.
does not count for a civilian gun. If
No,
they want a civilian weapons license, they need to get a second weapons license tag and pay the fee.
Yes, I do. It wasn't that
Oh,
so much.
sorry.
The
Go ahead, my
the
bad.
concern is that the PD is not good at cleaning up after people. So there was people that had a weapons license when all they needed was access to PD. I believe the example was that somebody was going in for a meeting and they needed the keys, and in that process they got a weapons license, and then it was never removed. Not that I'm saying that people will go in and buy equipment, but it's a bit of a concern that these tags are not getting removed.
Currently, that would be a Slack, Sterner, and possibly Barrick issue. If I believe they would be the only three who could handle that sort of cleanup.
All right, I'll take it up with.
I can also, if I see them first, I can communicate that as well.
They need to be a bit proactive. Not that I think that people would do it, but I feel like I've heard that somebody got fired or laid off, but he had his license still and did some dumb shit.
Oh, for heaven's
Yeah, I've
sake.
talked to Slacks about that several times. I'll talk to Barrick again. I'll make sure it's a priority.
All right,
Because
sounds
the
good.
last I heard with both Gregory Johnson and there's another person, I forget who, but both people had an issue with understanding the bounds of the weapons license they were issued,
Oh,
and then
River.
also it not being removed. Thank you, River, and it not being removed immediately.
Yep.
So I will reinforce that with Barrick. That's good.
Yeah, what are we doing about Junos?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a good question.
That's incredible.
I have no issue with
The auditors, yeah, that's that too.
Have you guys bought civilian licenses?
We bought a marriage license. That's about it.
Okay, but nobody in here has bought a civilian gun license.
Not yet.
No.
No.
So here's something I have to bring then.
Mhm.
Should Juno's weapons license and the rest of ours, because they were given under the auspices of beta testing this thing,
Mm-hmm.
be only preserved if we pay the license fee, and thus Juno's would be removed because she would need to apply just like anyone else. However,
why don't you just remove it?
for what?
Yeah, just remove it, man. Fuck
That's not
it.
how that works.
Max, why
Why
did you have to
not?
bring this up?
Because I am Alan Crane.
It could work.
Man,
I
I
am
fucking
not Maximilian Thoroughbred. I do not have a face tattoo, young man.
I hate I hate her. I do not want her to have conveniently. Oh no, my gun got robbed. You know, come on, man. Fucking Jesus Christ.
What?
Oh no, someone planted a gun on me. Come on, man. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, we hear arguments like that a lot, but I do get what you're saying.
Yeah. Hey, I never said the oh no, that gun was planted on me thing.
I know. I'm just pointing out that you were too eager to pardon that person, so
well, I
you're not wanting me to
I
vilify
pardoned
you,
him based on shoddy police work.
Look, I have my own thoughts about that whole thing with Juno. I think they probably align with yours, and that it's very clear that she probably just gave a gun to someone and made up a story. But I can't just pick and choose when I remove for that suspicion. That would create a lot of problems.
Shit, I don't think I have the money to buy one right now.
You need a loan, Max? You got collateral?
I don't want a loan. We're debt free. We're
Max,
debt free right now.
We're debt free.
Yeah,
We are debt free.
Max, just let
We
it
got a
keep it.
house.
That's enough. Hey, man, I'll give you a $35K loan for a house, Max. That's collateral.
You would be a loan shark, Molten.
Yeah.
You embody a loan shark.
You just need one of those Bluetooth earpieces.
He does have that energy.
What
What was that, Green?
Bluetooth earpiece,
Oh god, that's all he's
Swindlers
missing.
always have a Bluetooth earpiece. It's just like their fucking uniform.
All right, let's just leave it as it then, because I don't have the money right now.
All right, sounds good. That's what it is.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, I can't afford that shit right now. I'm gonna be real.
Well, in that case, do I have the thing for you? The legit legislation. It is at the end of the day, it's an exit bonus.
If you tell me you want to build a spaceship, I'm kicking your ass out of this room, Michael.
No, that
my
might be
God.
down the road.
But
I
he
don't have
has
the
a
money for
spaceship.
it.
Please,
Yeah.
no.
I
not
do have a
again.
spaceship. Yeah, that's true.
He already has one.
All right, continue.
So the legit legislation is basically it's an exit bonus. When we're done with our term, we will get a certain amount of money, and that's basically it. There is no, I haven't put any specific amount in because that is for this discussion. And obviously, if people are for or against, yeah. It is a.
Hey, wait a second. This says elected.
I think that should be changed.
Yeah, but I feel like that it's also. Yes.
Hey, wait a second.
I think we're all
This
conflicted.
says you have to leave your position.
Oh, it doesn't, did I?
Oh, he's making an edit real quick.
Is it complete even if you get reappointed or reelected?
It is the right now. The way I have it right now is that it's the complete 90 days. Again, we can discuss this, but for now, that is what I put in. That is for the elected people, and you have to do your entire term. Meaning that if somebody leaves in the middle of the term and somebody else get appointed, they will not get that bonus. It is
this is the beautiful thing about America.
What?
Is if we build a spaceship and steal $200 million,
right?
It's like embezzlement and all these nasty words.
Mm-hmm.
But if we all vote to reward ourselves for being hard workers and such great people, that's like democracy.
Exactly.
Meritocracy, even.
And that's why this is great.
Are we altruistic enough to have this not go into effect after our term if it is voted in?
You know what?
That's what I thought.
No.
This has a
okay,
sunset
all right.
clause at the completion of Alan Green's tenure.
To be fair, I think I understand the deterrent for sure, like or the deterrent on corruption at least.
Yeah, no, I'll jump aside. I think it is.
Yeah.
Michael, you had
it
this
is a
in
good
tandem.
incentive.
You had this in tandem with the Trump legislation, right? As like the incentive against corruption, and this is like a reward for not being corrupt, right? Like incentivizing
Yes.
ethical behavior.
This is the carrot, the other is the stick.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's the other thing. Yes, I do have the Trump legislation, which is that if you do get impeached, there is you will not hold a government position going forward for 12. I had it at 6 months, but changed it to 12 months. And then after the 12
Isn't
months,
that already in there somewhere?
is it? I couldn't find it when I looked for it.
I
thought-
could have sworn that I had something in there about.
I thought it was for elected office, not government official, as in like cop, EMS, etc.
I'm looking at impeachment.
Well, it would be in the oath, right?
I can see it in the oath.
I was not sworn in.
I thought I put somewhere about
Right, like the corruption,
about
there's
what
guidelines
happens
somewhere.
if you fuck up and like you're like that you couldn't be voted again for a certain period of time. I forget. I think it was like 9 months or something.
Oh, you have it in the Constitution. You have like the articles of impeachment thing, but I don't think it actually has
It doesn't cover it. I
what.
think.
It doesn't
Maybe
cover
we
like
just
what
talked
happens
about
after.
that. Maybe it never got written down.
Yeah.
It might have been.
All right. Well, you guys want to put something there right now?
I'm all for like the impeachment stuff affecting like any kind of thing that you would have to vote for, like any kind of the election, this council, et cetera, et cetera. As far as like all government jobs, period. I'm gonna use Cantor as the example. Is if she ended up getting impeached for financial related crimes, does that deter from her work in the medical field? I
It
don't
says
think...
no. So in the writing, it's saying future public office, basically upholding standards of conduct and responsibility.
Oh, if it says that, then yeah, then I agree. Sorry, I read government like officials and thought that included any government position. Gotcha. All right.
Because if it's I guess any sort of government employment would be any job in that case going forward, since everything is owned by the government. So
fair.
Yeah. So it's just any future public office basically position.
So like the 14th Amendment in the continental U.S.
I would know
thing.
about that.
No, like right, like they're trying to say that like if you've engaged in insurrection, right, same sort of thing. Like if you've been impeached, you shouldn't hold public office.
I don't know.
What if you get pardoned?
Ooh, I feel like even if you do get pardoned, you should not.
Or an
Well, you
expungement,
should-
right?
if
Either
you-
one.
if you-
Well, this
if you
isn't
get
like, impeachment
impeached-
isn't like a charge.
Right.
It's not
If
on
you
your
get impeached
record.
successfully, you should
Mhm.
not be able to hold public office for a long period of time.
Yeah.
My vote is 9 months.
9 months. That's yeah.
Which would
We
be
can change
3
that.
It's a good middle ground.
Yeah.
It's a good middle ground between 6 and 12.
Fine with me.
Anybody object to me amending the legislation regarding the city council oath to reflect the fact that if you were impeached from a council position, you may not serve for 9 months?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
So there went. I'm fine with that. Just to clarify here, then there's no review. It's just like it automatically expires and you can run again. Is that what the wording would be?
Do we want to have it
yeah,
up for a
correct.
review, or okay? Then in that case,
I think 9 months is long enough that, hey, if you want to run again, good luck. But people are still gonna remember. So.
Yeah. Do you want to make the changes then, Grin?
Yeah, I'm updating the legislation for the expectations of the city council right now.
All right. Sounds good.
Do we want to define the number for the legit act?
If people are for it. Again, I know. Molten, what was your if we should amend it till next term?
Well, that's the thing. It's traditionally, let's say in other systems, when people vote to raise their own pay, it doesn't go into effect until next cycle because there's obvious conflict there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like with the amount of dumb people going off on Twitter instead of talking to us, I feel like we need a fat check when we leave.
Who's doing that?
Mr. Lambuda was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
what?
looking up a
What?
storm
What?
yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Lang's on his Karen arc. He wants things that just aren't possible. He's got the impression that things operate the way that they did long ago, when you could embezzle millions and millions and millions of dollars as the mayor, which he probably did when he was mayor, and you could just snap your fingers and assign a building to someone with their cool new business idea, all of which impossible now.
Well, the other person is your favorite, the treasoner. He also went off on Twitter. That was yesterday, though. It's not something you can find now.
Brooke Ruth resigned for a reason, probably.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yep. No, that's fine. We even had a. We heard some people out yesterday, and after they left, they also went to Twitter again. Because apparently we didn't want to hire the engineer from Team Fortress 2 to fix
Oh my god,
Senior
about
Buns.
that? About that?
That lunatic, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god.
I almost fucking lost my fucking mind. He came up and said, I think we should hire Team Fortress 2 engineer to fix Senior Buns. I'm like, okay. What?
Fix what? Fix
Yeah,
what?
Apparently everything was broken.
According to who?
To
No
him.
more hats.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, if you can find an engineer, then maybe we'll look into it. But other than that, I don't know what you're asking of me. So I also had a
Yeah,
guy
it
going in
was-
circles saying that the old point system in terms of
Oh god, Cal.
yes,
Cow Mal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the old point system when you get a point for running a red light or whatever is old and outdated. When this
He
motherfucker
thinks
has
he shouldn't have to wait 30 days.
yeah, he has 25 points that he accumulated over the 30 days somehow.
That is so many.
That is so many.
Literally so many.
Mhm.
So, and they went to Twitter again saying that we didn't listen. It's like,
We literally.
motherfuckers.
Oh, we
He didn't
listened.
listen.
We
He
just
didn't
said that
listen.
he needs to learn how to drive.
Yeah.
I've personally, because I've been holding town halls since the beginning of my term.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty confident he's come to me and said something about the points thing twice.
He said it to everybody
Yeah.
who listened.
He continuously breaks traffic laws and then doesn't feel like he should have to wait for them to drop off so he can continue to break the traffic laws.
Yeah.
So, and he's upsetty spaghetti that nobody's agreeing with him. So,
So, yeah. Well, in general, I just feel like people want to go on Twitter rather than talk to us about their problems and their concerns.
Yeah.
And I feel
Yeah.
like we are. I'd say we're doing a good job at trying to listen to the people that want to talk and making legislations where we need to make them. Do I think we should wait to make it look good? Sure. Do I think we deserve a bonus for doing the groundwork? Yeah.
Wait, do I get a bonus for making the council?
The same as everyone else would, Crane.
Are
Flat
you
rate.
are you elected, Crane?
Elected by the
Yeah.
state. Yeah.
Yep, there was a vote. The guy asked himself, "Do I vote for Crane?" And he said yes. And then I won with 100% of the vote.
Well, when is your term
Wow,
over?
That's
a
crazy.
landslide.
When is the end of your term?
I think it's when the guy rescinds his vote, because then it'd be 0%, right?
It's when he dies, guys.
Hey, don't tempt me with a good time.
Again, it is. I didn't put any numbers, so we can always talk about it if people think it's a bad idea or if we should wait till the next, next term. Then we can also discuss that. But that's why we have this council meeting, right? To discuss things.
Yeah, I mean, all joking and quips aside, I'm simultaneously much in favor of people who are working very hard at this job to be compensated. That being said, I am also very much against anything that would cause the perception that we're, just a bunch of rich men north of Richmond. You know what I mean?
What if we had phrasing in there that whoever the ultimate financial authority, let's just say it's the treasurer, for example, maybe that's for the next council's approving authority to decide. Like they decide on the previous, like how did the previous one do? Are they deserving of a bonus? If so,
I
what?
don't think that's any different.
Oh, all right.
Because I mean, the next council, what's their POV? Oh, hey guys, we just got elected. Woo, great, we won. Well, what's this? We get the option to award ourselves money or not? Thanks, past council. That's sick. Like, I don't think.
Oh no, they wouldn't be awarding themselves
would
money.
be
They would be
awarding
awarding
us.
us money, and then the people after them.
Oh, so we're just creating a pass it on baton thingy.
If you're
Uh-huh.
only worried about perception, Crane, that would solve that. But yes.
Yeah, but wouldn't it just be like you would just keep doing it because then you would hope the next guy would keep doing it?
Once
It
again,
wouldn't be a
I'm not
marathon?
saying this solves the problem. I'm saying if your issue is public perception, this helps with that.
I
I also-
don't think we don't have to vote for this. is like my public perception right now is that people
Wait, what if we
complain.
just have Edda give us all money and we don't tell anyone?
Yeah.
Why would you put that evil on me?
I was just seeing if anyone would go for it.
I am glad it's not being recorded.
Ain't no way.
Siobhan, you want to explain?
Don't
I was
even say that,
joking.
God.
It's oh my god. I thought you were joking, so I was joking.
Uh-oh. Max, you're awfully quiet.
Because I'm in total support of Michael Simone's idea.
Oh, nice.
I will say in support of this idea as well. I think if we are passing a carrot, it should be at the same time as the stick.
Like, so let me ask this then. What if we just opt our pay in that case, Crane? Like, do we announce that?
We do not typically announce the amount that people are paid. No.
Yeah.
But people talk about it so openly that people pretty much have a good idea as to what everybody thinks.
Yeah,
anyways.
my point is just that if we don't want to do like an exit bonus, we could always up the pay, and then people wouldn't know about it, right? So it's not. I'm like my care about public perception right now is not. I don't really care because people don't want to talk to us. They just want to complain and not give us feedback. Again, I'm not going to try and force this through. I don't really care too much. It was just something I came up with. Yeah, and well.
Yeah, I know after the town hall, Murphy had he sent out a tweet about scheduling town halls, but whereas I understand that that would make it easier for people to plan to attend, it would also make it easier for shitheads to coordinate attacks on.
I got a question because I was in prison. When did previous mayors typically schedule their town halls?
Very ad hoc, and it was like, hey,
What? You mean they held town hall?
Yeah, right?
They-
You mean
they-
they held
they did.
I don't remember.
Typically, it was. It wasn't regularly, if that's what you're getting at, but usually, yeah, once or twice their term. So on average, once a month, there was like a city town hall. And that wasn't just the mayor, right? That was the mayor's office,
Yeah,
the
usually-
PD was there, the
PD,
judges
yeah,
were there.
DJ, yeah.
It was definitely an entire city affair.
They were planned ahead, you know,
Yeah.
to give advance notice. However, it pretty much turned into a giant dogpiling of PD bad. You know, this is why I hate the PD. Blah 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 blah. And then it would just go around in circles for hours, and it was just nothing productive.
Hey, I
really
got a
came of them.
loophole.
I'm in favor of a pay raise, by the way.
I got a loophole.
What's up?
All right.
You could. This is about. I'm not sure. Right now, I'm 48% serious. You could adjust the pay for the city council members for the last day to be whatever you want the bonus to be. So you could just have like we could have a pizza party for an hour where we all make 50,000 an hour.
I love that. That makes
I
my
hate
liberal heart
everything.
sing.
I feel that
That could work.
feels more sketchy than this, honestly. But
I feel like we should be more transparent, though. I feel like we should be transparent.
This is actually giving me anxiety.
Yeah, I
Like,
felt
transparency
48%.
is the best policy.
I said 48.
Transparency is the
I
best
know,
policy.
we know. Hey,
I feel worse about this since we started talking about it. I'm moving honest.
what about a casual $200 an hour pay raise?
let me do the math on that real quick.
What are we currently at? I don't even
800.
know.
I'm at
850?
800, I think.
800,
Was it?
something like that.
That is 10 grand.
So now I have some
a
graphs,
day
okay? And my
times
chief of staff
7.
notes, if you want to like pull those out. The state
Yeah, I
account can
saw
definitely
that.
sustain that. You do you
4.
see that? The state account can definitely sustain a
Mhm.
bump.
Okay.
Speaking of, how exactly are we supposed to export the bank records? Because my exporting has never worked.
Yeah,
It
it
is
sucks.
being worked on.
Okay.
Yay.
I
'Cause
sincerely
I-
apologize.
I had to go directly
Huh?
to the state and have it pulled.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you could try that too. You know how it is though, getting a hold
Yeah.
of someone.
I'm fine with leaving this one and then just doing a $200 pay raise. If that is what you think is
Agree.
yes.
Agree.
If it's about the perception. I don't personally care too much, but